IVM.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Positively Unlimited podcast. Here's another episode in the A to Z series of finding your life purpose. And today's word is S for stumbling blocks. The reason why so many of us figure out our life purpose very late in life, and some of us are possibly living it without even realizing that we're already living the purpose of our lives, is because we're averse to failure. We don't want to fail, and so we don't take chances. And when we don't take chances, we fail to explore, to understand ourselves better, to make the most of opportunities through which we can grow, change, and evolve. You may want to go back to episode number 155 called Explore. That's where I talk about why it is important to explore, to try a few new things, and to just understand what you like and don't like, what your preferences are, and what kind of adventures you would actually like to go on. But I'm going to bring you back to this particular episode called Stumbling Blocks first. Here's a perspective that I want to share with you today. A lot of times we're afraid to fail, we're afraid to fall down because we don't want to be judged, we don't want to be misunderstood, and we don't want to create an impression other than one of perfection. But sometimes our intuition and life will purposely trip us. Yes, it's like that friend who'll stick a leg out so that you trip and fall on your face and then have a laugh at you. Except that life and your intuition isn't laughing at you, but they're smiling for what you are about to find. You have to fall down to be able to find the gold coin that is on the ground, shining back at you. Now imagine all the times that life made you fall down. Imagine all the times that you thought you failed and that you weren't good enough because of that failure. Think about what it changed for you. Think about what it made you realize. Why don't you try this week? Take a piece of paper and write down your biggest failures. Things that you thought would have destroyed you, or things that you thought spelled doomsday for you. As you write that, let me also tell you this. No matter what you felt at that time when things weren't going your way, or when you were writing that story of absolute failure and being a complete loser, the fact is that you are still here today, and you are still trying to do what you love to do. You are working on yourself, and you are living a full life. Well, this means that that failure wasn't as bad as you were making it out to be. So as you list those failures down today, ask yourself this. What is the gift that that experience has given me? Think about it as a friend who gave you a gift that wasn't wrapped very well, and so you discarded it on the side thinking that it wouldn't be something too great. And now I'm asking you to pick that badly wrapped gift and open it to see what was actually in there. Life gives us a lot of opportunities and a lot of experiences that we may not have asked for. But if you want to find your life purpose, you're going to have to be willing to live each and every one of these experiences. Every failure, every obstacle, every time you trip and fall, these are just stumbling blocks. But each block is a step that is paving the path that takes you straight to your life purpose. Now, while you list those failures down and you ask yourself, what is the gift that this experience gave me? It may bring up some of the uncomfortable feelings of the past. And by doing this exercise, I'm not asking you to deny those feelings, but rather, I'm asking you to feel it fully, to sit with yourself and process it completely. Do what you must do to let go of those emotions for good, to give yourself closure if that's what you need, and then be able to move forward with only the lessons and the blessings of that particular experience. The next thing that I want you to do this week is to write down the kinds of failure that are unacceptable to you today. So write your worst. Describe the worst failure, the one that you are not willing at all to experience or even go near. And once you have written those down, ask yourself that if going through those failures were the only way to get to your life purpose, if stumbling on those blocks, being wounded, healing yourself, and then walking to the next one was the only way to get to your life purpose, would you be willing to walk that path? I know this is a hard question that I'm asking you today, but that's exactly where I'm going to leave you. As always, all previous episodes are available on the IVM Podcast app as well as website, and you can connect with us on Instagram and Twitter. If you'd like to DM me, especially about that last question that I've asked you, my handle is Positivity Angel. Until next week, I hope that you can truly commit to your desire to live your life purpose.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Would like to thank the sponsors on the network this week, CED. We really do appreciate your support. We have a new show on the network. It's called The Fighting Goat, and if you love fighting sports, tune in every Wednesday with hosts Arjun and Somesh. They also featured, by the way, on Cyrus Says this week, where the three fitness freaks bonded over their love for TV sports and sports in general. Tune in to This Round Is On Me, where Gauri celebrated her 25th anniversary with Kavita Rajwade, who is my co-founder at the IVM Podcast Network. They give us details about how this show was curated, and they talk about podcasts in general. On The Habit Coach, Ashton highlighted our addiction to screens, how we are glued to either a big laptop screen or a small mobile screen all day. He shared some tips on how to rectify this unhealthy lifestyle. On All Things Policy, Anirudh Kanisetti spoke to Pratik Vagre and Rohan Sheth about the new internet guidelines that were issued by the Government of India recently, and their impact on content creators and platforms. On the Filter Coffee podcast, Karthik invited Vivek Ram, who is a celebrated animation artist. They chatted about his stint with animation and starting his own studio called Vanar Sena, bringing to life stories from ancient India and his scriptures with animation as his vehicle. We had Dhanya Rajendran, the editor of the News Minute, on the Note with Maruk Inayat. It was a deep dive into the digital newsroom and the upkeep of truth in a fake news pandemic. And with that, we hope to see you again next week.
From uncensored and unfiltered chats with the who's who of the entertainment industry, I, Siddharth Kannan, bring your very hardcore chat show called Candid Kannan. Tune in every Friday on the IVM Podcast app or wherever you get your podcasts.